Agatha sat alone, her heart a bitter stone. Her granddaughter, Lily, sat opposite her. The antique clock ticked. It was the only sound in the room. Their weekly visits were less of a reunion and more of a strained obligation. Agatha, with her face etched in lines of regret and resentment, had always been a woman of sharp edges and a sharper tongue. She treated kindness as a weakness. Her husband had left her decades ago, unable to bear the weight of her icy heart.
Lily, on the other hand, was the embodiment of gentle grace. She had inherited none of her grandmother's harshness. Lily was the only family Agatha had left. It was a truth that gnawed at the old woman.
The silence stretched, punctuated only by the ticking clock. Agatha's eyes, cold and calculating, settled on Lily. They held a flicker of something unspoken, a longing perhaps, or maybe something far more sinister. A plan was forming in her mind, a desperate bid to rewrite the past. Nightfall. The old house creaked around Agatha. She stood before the fireplace, her shadow dancing in the flickering flames.
"I wish to be young again," she whispered, her voice raspy with years and desire. The room grew cold, the fire sputtered. A figure coalesced from the shadows, tall and impeccably dressed in a tailored suit. His eyes, however, betrayed his human disguise. They glowed with an infernal light. "Every soul has a price, madam. What are you willing to offer for your heart's desire?"
Agatha didn't hesitate. Years of bitterness had hardened her resolve. She was willing to pay any price for a chance to relive her youth, to make different choices, even if it meant condemning her very soul. A year passed. Agatha watched in fascination as her reflection in the mirror grew younger. Wrinkles faded, replaced by the smooth elasticity of youth. Her hair regained its lost luster, a rich chestnut brown replacing the dull grey. Her transformation was nothing short of miraculous.
Men, who had once looked past her with indifference, now showered her with attention. She revelled in their admiring glances, in the way they hung on to her every word. Dates filled her evenings, each one a heady reminder of her restored youth. She danced, she laughed, she flirted. Her life had become a whirlwind of pleasure and attention, a stark contrast to the quiet solitude she had endured for so long.
Her transformation was nothing short of miraculous. One morning, Agatha woke with a start. Something was different. She felt lighter. She stumbled to the bathroom, her heart pounding with a nameless dread. The face that stared back at her from the mirror was not her own. It was the face of a child, barely a teenager. Her eyes were wide with terror, her youthful features twisted in a mask of fear.
Panic surged through me. This wasn't right. It was happening too fast. I had wanted to be young, yes, but not like this. I was trapped in a nightmare, my body betraying me, growing younger by the day.
Agatha watched in horror as her body continued its relentless regression. Her clothes hung loose on her now childlike frame. Her reflection mocked her, a cruel reminder of her pact with the devil. The once familiar rooms of her house seemed to loom larger, the furniture towering over her shrinking form. Fear, cold and suffocating, became her constant companion.
I was a prisoner in my own body, a 4-year-old trapped in the remnants of a life I could no longer remember. My voice, when I tried to speak, came out a high-pitched squeak. Desperation clawed at me, a wild animal pacing within its cage.
Lily arrived for her weekly visit to find her grandmother gone. In her place sat a small child, her eyes wide with a terror that sent chills down Lily's spine.
"Grandma?" Lily whispered, her voice trembling.
The child's lower lip trembled. Tears welled up in her large, frightened eyes. The little girl held out a hand, small and shaking.
"Help me," she pleaded. "Please help me."
The room grew cold. Shadows deepened. Lily turned, her heart pounding, to find the man in the suit standing in the doorway. His eyes, glowing with infernal light, held her gaze. He offered Lily a deal. He would break the pact, release Agatha from her torment. But there was a price, as there always was. Lily would become Agatha's guardian, responsible for her care and well-being.
Lily didn't hesitate. She agreed to the devil's terms.
A flicker of something akin to amusement crossed the man's face as he sealed the deal. He vanished, leaving behind the faint scent of sulfur and a silence that was somehow more unnerving than his presence. Agatha was free from the curse, but her freedom came at a price. She was trapped in a child's body, her life now ruled by the granddaughter she had always treated with disdain. Lily, once the timid granddaughter, became her guardian. The years of bottled-up resentment found an outlet, a chillingly ironic justice. Cold meals, stern lectures, and the sharp sting of a wooden spoon replaced the devil's torment.
Agatha's cries for mercy went unanswered, echoing hollowly in the old house that had once been her prison, and was now, in a twisted turn of fate, her cage once more.